Hey folks, it's Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be listening to this, I hope you're having a great day. So yesterday we talked about looking at mistakes as opportunities, approaching them from a curious standpoint, and the value of sitting down and making a list, thinking about the mistakes that we've made. So it can be a great learning lesson. It can be a great way to help us move forward to achieve our goals. The downside, of course, is that if we're not careful, it can leave us feeling pretty depressed, right? Gosh, look at all the ways that I failed or didn't succeed. So there's a twin to this exercise that I want to talk about today. It can be incredibly powerful. And if you're more of a type A driven personality like I am, this one can feel very unnatural. You know, it's not that hard to focus on our mistakes or failures and then, like we said, fall into shame, blame, and guilt. But it can be hard to do the opposite. So today, I want to invite you either separately or as part of that process to think about what you did well. What went right? So if we're thinking about last year or the last 6 months or even the last quarter, 3 months, what did you do that worked out well or worked out right or was a success? Now, again, it's important we do the other side because the sad reality, look, we can learn from mistakes or failures. We can sit down, look at our successes, dissect them apart, and look at what we did well to achieve that success. Maybe we showed up daily, we did our habits, we reached out and got in touch with someone, we wisely invested our money, we whatever it might be, we were successful. But here's the reality. It's the reality for you, it's the reality for me, it's the reality for everyone. We rarely learn from our successes. Most often we just pat ourselves on the back, say, yep, I'm awesome, I'm great, and then we move on. It's really in our failures where we have the kind of energy and motivation to look at it, to dissect it, to figure out what went wrong and what we can do to make it right. So you can sit down after making a list of successes and take them apart and look at them, look for what you did right, what you can learn from again. So again, if something worked well for you, the bottom line is you should A, do it again, or B, do more of it, right? If something didn't go right, we should either do less of it or do something different. But again, we can look at it and say, okay, look, if going to the gym and working out worked well for you, we may want to consider, going to the gym more often or ramping up our routine more. We may decide not. What we're doing is working just fine for us, so there's no need to do more of it. But we can look at it from that standpoint. But for most people, most of the time, the value in looking at what went right is to build ourselves up, to celebrate, to enjoy, to bolster our sense of self-esteem. Again, the negative side of looking at our failures is that we can start to feel like a failure. We can feel down. We can feel depressed. The negative side of being a type A driven person is that we're always looking at what is not accomplished. Even if we succeed, we can say, well, yes, to take an example, I lost 5 pounds. But then we just turn around and go, okay, but I still have 20 more that I want to lose. And so even in that success, we can stay focused on the part that's not complete, or if you will, our failure. So the real value, in my opinion, of looking at our successes is reversing that, is taking a moment to say, you know what? Here's my list of failures. Here's the things that didn't work right. Now, I can flip that around to become empowering by saying, here's what I'm going to change. Here's how I'm going to do it differently. Here's how I'm going to keep moving forward. But we can pair that by saying, and yes, I failed here, here, and here. But look at this. I succeeded there, and there. And we can combine those two together to say, you know what? I am pretty awesome. I'm pretty great. Like, we need to give ourselves more love. We've talked about this multiple times. But again, if this were a child, this is a good viewpoint you may want to adopt as you're sitting down with this. Whether you have kids or don't have kids, you can imagine you're sitting down with your child, reviewing whatever it is, the last quarter, 6 months, 12 months, looking at what you did right and what you did wrong. You would celebrate with your child or your imaginary child their successes. You know, Johnny or Susie or whoever, good job doing this, great job doing this. Look how awesome, how talented, how successful you are for doing this, this, and this. On the flip side over here, look at this. Okay. Again, we're not going to sit there and scream and yell and blame and shame our children for their failures. Instead, we're going to say, okay, well, this didn't work, that didn't work. What can we do differently? So we can take these two exercises, we can pair them together, we can celebrate in our successes, and we can look at our failures as springboards for future successes. By doing these two exercises in parallel, we can not only continue to move forward to reach the goals that we want in our life, whether it's in health, working on digestive issues or autoimmune diseases, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in finances, whether it's in our job, whether it's in hobbies, whatever the case might be, we can look at our failures as potentials for future success, and we can look at our successes and celebrate and enjoy together. So I'd like to invite you, take a piece of paper or a file on a computer, take a little bit of time, take at least 15, 30, 60 minutes out of your day at some point, whether it's late at night, whether it's early in the morning, whether it's a weekend day, whatever it might be. Draw two columns, successes and failures, and get to working on a list. And be sure, because it is true, that your successes are longer than your failures. Again, we tend to focus on our failures. They're easy to recall, but we tend to short shift ourselves on our successes. And there's a lot of successes. If you don't have big, giant successes, founded a multi-million-dollar company, cured cancer, did all these things, look for smaller successes in your life. We tend to brush them to the side, but even small things, in every day we succeed in multiple ways. So be sure that your success column is longer than your failure column. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Listen, if you're ready to have success in your health, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're dealing with digestive issues or autoimmunity, and you're friendly and coachable, let's have a conversation. Let's see if we are the right people to help you shortcut this process and achieve success. Look, there's no need to have to go on your own, trying to figure it all out yourself, being your own doctor, being responsible for everything. I get that a lot of people have had bad experiences with their doctor, which has led them to feel that they need to be solely responsible for their health and what's going on, that they need to be the doctor. And the truth is, that's not the truth. Just because you've had experiences with bad doctors in the past doesn't mean that all doctors are bad. Doesn't mean that you have to be the one to figure out all the details for yourself. So if you're friendly and coachable, dealing with digestive issues and ready to make changes, let's have a chat, a conversation. All we'll do is find out what's going on, what your goals are, and whether we are the right fit to help you. If we are, we'll talk about next steps. We'll see about getting going. If we're not the right fit, that is perfectly okay. We will do our best to refer you to someone who is the right fit for you. After all, our goal at Aspire Natural Health is to guide and support people dealing with digestive issues and autoimmunity so that they can live bigger and better lives. If you're looking for a transformation, looking to live a bigger and better life, it all starts with a conversation. What you need to do next is send us an email, give us a phone call, or drop us a message that says you're interested in having a conversation. We'll set it up, have a conversation, see what makes sense for you. All right, folks, until next time, take care.